I can't do that to someone.
Lou, can I buy you a spot, Lou?
Oh, that's base.
I want to welcome everybody back.
That just became an investment for you.
We are roasting Simon currently. This is also known as an English as a second language education for foreign native English speakers. This is the campaign to elect John Kitover. Go JohnForCongress.com right now. We thank you all for coming. Send us 10, not 11, $10, not $9 to the campaign right now to unseat Darren LaHood in the 16th district. We have our AI campaign strategists all prepared to create AI content to defeat Darren LaHood in Rockford, Peoria, Bloomington, Illinois in the 16th congressional district. Go to JohnForCongress.com.
Are you sick of living in the hood, as in La Hood?
As in the hood.
And don't forget to fork it over. Fork it over.
Trademark Lou.
That's right.
That was a good one.
Jesus, I think I fucked up.
You have a substance abuse issue? Dial 911.
I thought that was 311 for substance abuse.
I don't know.
This nigga.
Wow.
What?
So confident when the blacks turn around.
Opinion
What
Jan.
do you mean I am black, bro? What are you talking about?
Yes, the Sicilians are black. That's true.
Yes. The fuck?
Wow.
Nobody can take away the fact that my people, my black brother, Italian people got reparations, so we're actually the better blacks in America. I'm just saying. Okay.
Well, it's hard to be the worst class.
Well, I mean, you have like the original black guys who came over by ships.
That's right.
Those are definitely the worst blacks.
Are y'all ready to stop believing in God, though?
I already don't believe in God.
Nice. You're smarter than most of the population. Congratulations, brother.
No, that's right.
Who's this fire?
I mean, it doesn't really take that much, so it's not really not really an uphill thing.
Everything came from nothing. That's like reparations. That's all paid for.
What?
Yeah, so Simon
Contradiction.
Hold on. Simon came from nothing when he died. Oh my god, I'm gonna kick this faggot out.
Kick the black person, please. We don't like black people in this room. Thank you.
Simon came from nothing, and when he dies, he goes to nothing. Does that mean that he is meeting his creator?
Okay, we've seen the video. It wasn't funny when he said it, but
I know you acknowledge that it's a contradiction, but you choose to ignore it, and you're so confident in saying that God doesn't exist.
what? When do I choose to ignore that existence?
Well, you're acknowledging. No, I'm not saying that.
So then how am I saying? If I acknowledge existence exists, how can I say that nothing came from something? Something came from nothing. That's a contradiction.
Right, it is a contradiction, but that's your contradiction. You believe that.
No, that's not my contradiction. I just told you I believe in existence as a primary.
Yeah, that's a bullshit answer. That's a bullshit answer to say something exists because it exists. You don't want to.
Something exists because it exists.
Yeah, exactly.
That's literally A is A.
Okay.
That is logic.
You exist because you exist. Right? So, have you existed forever?
Well, I am because I am.
Have you existed forever?
He's doing
I think, therefore I am.
Okay, so then existence...
No, that's nonsense. Descartes was wrong.
My God. If existence exists because it exists, and that applies to you and the universe, but you haven't lived forever, why do you assume the universe has been around forever?
I don't have to assume. It's a logical necessity for anything to exist.
You do assume that, though. Will you acknowledge?
No, I don't assume it. It's the precondition for literally anything to exist.
Okay, so it's irrelevant then.
It's not irrelevant. It's the precondition. I don't have to assume something. I can't even.
This guy. Super low IQ stupid people wasting all the time hypnotizing themselves on nothing.
Super
This
low
also
IQ
known as
people.
an ESL room for non-native English speakers. To vote for John for Congress in the 16th Illinois District. Let's roast them all because they're wasting our time and they are energy vampires. Let's free ourselves from these stupid people once and for all.
Atheism is a religion of putting your faith in nothing. That's what Zenimimi just said in the chat. Come on up.
We are now going to play a musical instrument instead of listening to Simon and Lou draw our brain powers into dust particles. This is called the Santor. It comes from Iran. Anything is better than listening to Simon and Lou go on forever.
I don't know. I like Simon's keyboard.
Shut up, Simon!
The one who's playing some fucking like keyboard nonsense.
Yours is worse.
No, I like it. I like the Simon.
Yeah, it's soothing.
Yeah, I like it.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Super Clubhouse Friends, hosted by Isa Guatemala Watermelon, who had to run away from being murdered as a child. Now she is a high-end executive living in Switzerland and in charge of robust marketing communications in the sports entertainment technology field.
I'm not marketing communications. What are you
She is
talking
well
about?
trained in the latest of AI scams and AI business products to push on people to get command prompts to create content.
That's right.
That's right. I mean, that's wrong with that.
We also have our local Ayn Rand atheist and overall super boring guy, Simon.
It's actually pronounced Ayn Rand, but okay.
That's correct.
We also have David, our resident alcoholic and financier, David Bobadi, as well as a transgender studies student and former basket weaver, my friend, Zach Laruda.
Why are you calling David an alcoholic? I don't get it.
What?
Yeah, why are you gonna call it David
Also,
Alcohol?
Luigi Nicos, our
Call David Alcohol.
strategist and super
Why you calling David Alcohol?
performer.
No, David Alcoholic. No,
Yeah, so the one day we've heard him say,
Hey, why are you calling David Alcohol?
Welcome to a show where people like to talk intellectually, but it's actually a comedy show. Most people on Conhouse take themselves so seriously, but they don't know what they're doing is either really good comedy or really shitty comedy. Also, don't forget to fork it over. Fuck job.
Did John leave again?
No,
No,
you're missing him.
not in the slightest. Man, this girl's pissing me off. Jesus Christ.
I mean, let's be honest. You've wasted countless years talking to Roberto, aka the laundromat Bitcoin scam operator.
Who are you talking
And
to?
you can't take
Me?
10 minutes of my campaign rhetoric? Jeez, how do you ever expect to take that beautiful girl to that Italian restaurant?
Because listening to
No,
you
no,
has
no, Simon.
bearing on whether I can take my
Using the
girlfriend out.
word objective, subjective, so
When's the last time I said objective?
you just said it.
Okay, before that?
I don't know. When was the last time you said subject?
Why are you saying I said it?
Just asking a question. Can't
No,
see the
asking you
clubhouse
to say
friends
that.
just be friendly? I mean, why is some abstract concept called Israel causing you personal emotional problems? Is it a you problem?
It's literally not. I'm pro-Israel.
Isn't that just subjective?
So wait, what are they doing to piss you off?
Nothing.
I thought you said Israel is pissing you off.
I know, because John says a bunch of nonsense. Like, is that, like, out of the
So
ordinary?
Israel gets blamed for John's
Of
nonsense?
course he does.
I
Of
don't
course
get
they
it.
do. We blame
I don't
everything
get
on
it.
them.
What the hell? Like, I mean, like Israelis tell me I'm radical when it comes to defending their country.
Who says
Who
that?
makes you a cunt?
Daniel and a few other people have said that I was extreme
For what?
when it comes to defending the freedoms.
What do you mean? Why? Can you elaborate?
Well, like when I see stuff like like there is no number like that's like unjustifiable when it comes to defending your state, and like you morally sanction your government to take care of like protecting your rights. Like as long as the government is not just like blatantly like just murdering children for the sake of murdering children.
But that's what they're
Then, like,
doing.
you go, no, they're not doing that.
No,
That's
they're
the whole
seeking
point.
out children to murder.
No, but the thing is like the and I know you're not saying this obviously, but like people have a massive like misconception of what indiscriminate means, and that's why they have the understanding of like, well, when Israel lobs a bomb and civilians die, that's technically indiscriminate in their eyes. When I'm saying like that would be a massive like like misunderstanding of what indiscriminate would actually mean. So yeah, like if a military says there's a person of interest, we bomb the shit out of the building, 10 people die, like that's not indiscriminate. That's literally like we have a military target, we go, we execute, whoever dies, the moral responsibility is on the people who for the reason why we have to lob a bomb over there. That's it. And people don't have that understanding, and that's just tough on them. But I mean,
I think you guys know the Hamas playbook, sort of their idea. We have a military objective. If people die, no big deal.
well, then there's the actual reality where like
Okay, well, that wasn't the reality.
no, Hamas had legitimate military targets. No. That's
Yeah,
why
they
they
did.
murdered a bunch of.
But
Okay,
they-
so
they
why did they
also
murder a
murdered
bunch
a
of
bunch-
people who went to a?
You could say the same thing about Israel, though. I'm just saying.
No,
No,
you
you
can't.
can't. No, you can't.
Okay,
How
so
can you
so
not?
who's trying the people who indiscriminately killed the people at the festival? Who's trying the
Well, I think
soldiers?
most of them are dead, hopefully.
Well, if they weren't dead, then shouldn't.
Why?
the government
Wait, hold on.
shit?
Why are you saying hopefully?
Yeah, because I think they're terrorist scumbags.
Right, then
Why
how
do you consider them terrorists if they had legitimate military targets?
He did have legitimate military targets. They did fucking take over military base. I'm just using your logic. I'm not saying I agree with it.
Well, then no, because like my thing is they're the ones who initiated the force. Therefore, you can't initiate
Okay,
force
so
and say we have
then you can justify anything. Whoever initiates force. This is why I said I would defeat you very easily if we ever went to war. Because I would just
Why?
because I would wear my Simon flag. I would go, kill a bunch of people and be like, oh, you initiated force, then I'd kill your whole family. And I'd be morally justified to do so.
That doesn't make any sense.
that makes no sense. Like this is where people like they divorce the reality from like the actual word. Like the whole point is that Hamas is the legit like government. These people went and initiated force on a sovereign country. They initiated force. They went in, murdered like 1,200 people, and as a result, a country declared war on them.
Okay,
If
so
they-
what's the
if they
difference
didn't
from what I'm
care
saying
about-
about you? I could do the same thing. I'm just saying.
Well, because you and I are not at war.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We are now officially.
No, you can't declare war on a citizen within your own country. Well, I'm saying if I was, so you're gonna go to war with me in a sovereign country. Well, good luck, because you're just one person. That would just be like that'd just be considered murder.
That's right.
Don't expect my $30. We
Respect
at war,
my name,
guys.
nigga. We are war, dog.
That's it.
Actually, aren't you both Sicilian?
No, he's not Sicilian.
I think I found out I am.
Oh well.
There you go. You
What up, player?
guys are brothers.
We're paisanos.
Paisano. We at war.
We are war, dog. You on the wrong side of the hood, nigga.
See, now you don't you feel bad for being mean to Simon?
I never mean my motherfucking dog.
Shit. Shoo, you just acting stupid.
Welcome back to Simon's World. Simon's
God.
World, the fantastic imagination.
Can you just like at least like not sing? Like I don't even care if you say the other shit. Just
But
don't
it's
sing,
really
bro.
just a projection.
A projection of what?
Only in Simon's World. Simon's awesome, super cool world. Object, subject, subject, object, object, subject, subject, object. In Simon's World.
It's funny because he says like it's like a really low IQ stuff, but like the reality is like
The facts
there's
are
so
reality.
much like disagreement on like just that one like on those two concepts alone. So it's like it's not low IQ. There's a massive disagreements on that lead to a bunch of other problems, logically speaking.
There's more anonymous people in the audience than there's real people in the audience.
That's right.
Welcome back to Simon's objective, subjective world where he will talk for hours while his girlfriend to that Italian restaurant. But go to johnforcongress.com.
I don't think I've ever
Let
taken.
John Kitover. Fork it over! Fork it over! Illinois 16. Go to johnforcongress.com.
I don't think I've taken my girlfriend to an Italian restaurant in France, to be honest.
Welcome
I
back
don't
to
really
the
like
campaign
Italian
roast of Simon the Wizard here on Clownhouse, and he says itty bitty titty committee. This is
Why do
Congressman
we have
candidate
five
John
Johns
Kitover
in the
here to
audience?
roast Simon
They're all John.
the
John
wise
is a
atheist
Jackson.
who lost his atheism when he was like in the 8th grade or something like that.
John, are you
Just
flooding us?
second grade.
John, are you flooding us with your anons?
Second grade, actually, because I
Are
had
you
some
flooding us
brain.
with his anons? Are all of
Are
them?
you flooding me with your announce?
Yeah.
Why did you just sound like Indian?
I don't know. There's a game.
Are you flooding us with your anons? Like, what the fuck?
You only have one foreign accent and they all blend
I've
together.
never had 5 anons in a room. Not in such a small room, though.
Not even in such a small room, though.
Not even in the smallest room have we had so many anons.
Don't you dare talk to me like that.
Well,
Don't forget to vote for John Kitover. Yeah, we fucking get it, bro. I mean, like, this is exactly why I wouldn't vote for someone like
right now as we super roast Simon, the intellectual and Randist, who believes that everything is miserable. Well,
Who believes that? I have an affinity to living life.
You've got an affinity.
Yeah.
You want to stay alive?
Yes. Love
So
life.
you're not ready to go to that Italian restaurant for her birthday?
No, French. I'm gonna buy her a 400 € duck.
Okay, Simon, go ahead and read to me what's in my PTR and tell me if you agree.
I can't read it.
We know.
I'll read it for you. It says, if you love yourself, you love others. If you hate yourself, you hate others. In relationships with others, it is only you mirrored.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I hate communists, and I hate socialists, and I hate fascists. You know, that has no bearing on... And it's because I love myself that I hate these people.
Like a true narcissist.
No, it's because I love life so much that these people literally want me dead. So I hate them, and I would never sanction them.
That's a lot of hate in your heart. Lou, can you
that's
send
just
me,
like a
shut
Christian
up one
view.
second. Can you send, and I know you said, so I'm gonna say shut up all the time. Can you send me a Diogenes telegram? I don't find it.
Yeah. Are you gonna send him money?
Yeah, I told you, I have his fucking gift card. But I have been keeping it because he's been very obnoxious and he was annoying me and I just hated it.
Well, he got some bad news, so he needs a little love these days.
What bad news?
I don't want to say. Listen.
Oh, then you should have said shut up. What? That's the bad news.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's good that you're giving him something because it make him feel better.
But what happened to him?
No, there's no answers. Questions at the end.
Questions at the end, please. This is such a woman thing.
Yeah.
Women just can't accept that.
I just want. I mean, if he didn't want to say it, then he shouldn't have said it.
But it's okay if he did. We don't have to know.
Simon,
I'm not saying because right now I am on it, and if not, I'm just gonna leave it until.
David, feel free to just back channel me what happened.
yeah, I'll text you.
No, don't.
Fuck you, bro.
That is without a doubt one of the funniest PTRs I've read in a while.
Oh, mine? You like it? You wanna be sub?
Why is that funny? That's just like the truth.
Because I'm gonna make you a sub. You don't get it? You don't get it?
I get it.
I don't get it.
Submissive, Simon. He doesn't get it. He doesn't.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you a submissive.
He wants to get it. He just can't ask for it. He's that submissive.
I know, that's usually the man needs a date.
Whoa.
She makes them a sub.
They got subbed.
That's right. When Yakov says, "Oh," I love that.
Yeah. Making fun of me?
No, I genuinely like when you say, "Oh," it's like right at like that, like perfect time.
Oh, do. I always think of Andrew Dice Clay, when he was,
Oh.
remember when he was, what do you call it, sampled for that EMF song? Unbelievable. Oh. That was a great song.
No, I don't remember that.
Oh, come on, really? It's unbelievable. It's like a British punk rock band. And they sampled him saying, unbelievable.
How's it going?
Oh, it's unbelievable. Oh, yeah, I know it. Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, that's a great thing.
Oh yeah, and like the way they even said it is like super. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Like, it was that sort of like Cockney accent, you know. And
Yeah.
the New York accent. It's great.
Oh. There's a guy who went on Kill Tony.
What's killed him?
It's like Joe Rogan's like comedy show. Or like part, yeah, I think he's like part owner. With like Tony Hinchcliffe or whatever his name is, and like they just have like a bunch of comedians go on all the time, and there's like one new guy from like Jersey just comes on, and does like his whole bit, and he's like, and like Tony's like, yeah, basically like you're the embodiment of like Andrew Dice Clay.
I saw him recently, or at least a video of him. Like the fatter, older version of himself, still wearing the same leather, you know. I think some people don't age gracefully. They should just like switch gears, you know. What works at 25 doesn't work at 50.
I'll send you the video of the guy I was referring to. His name's Timmy No Breaks.
Yeah.
I said, bitch, I got fucking bills to pay. I said, bitch. Why can't I find you, Jakob? Oh, by the way, like, do you have a digital camera by any chance?
Like, how many digital cameras? The question is, how many digital cameras?
Which one? Which ones do you have?
I have
Nikon.
a Canon 1DX. That's like my main digital camera.
Oh.
And I have some smaller street photography kind of cameras.
What do you use for like your editing software? Lightroom.
Lightroom Classic.
Lightroom Classic's the best.
Yeah, and I got this new console for it. It's called a I haven't memorized the name of it. You forget this thing. It works for video editing software. It's like a little small. Here, look this up. It's called.
What is the Logitech?
No, it's much better. It's called Loopdeck CT.
Oh, I don't like the Loopdecks.
Really? They're really nice compared. Logitech is garbage. This thing's made out of metal.
Yeah, I have. It's because the thing is, like, I don't need a Loopdeck because I have a whatever it is, like 15% keyboard or whatever, and I have like 20 keys. I have the Razer Tartarus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's not a keyboard replacement.
No, I know. It's just because I don't need like a Loopdeck, but it's also because like I don't use Lightroom. I actually really don't like it. I use Raw Therapy. It's completely free.
I just like that. I mean, Lightroom for
editing photos.
No. Mostly I edit in Photoshop, but for like some simple clean editing, like cropping and stuff, I use Lightroom. But it's really a database. It's a database of photos. You know.
Oh, okay.
You can tag them and label them, and you know.
Yeah. It is good for cataloging and stuff.
Yeah, that's all I use it for, to be honest. So Loopdeck is nice because when you're in the OS, the keys are OS related. The moment you go into Lightdeck, it changes the keys to be Lightdeck related, and they're haptics. When you touch them, they vibrate. I think it's very well thought out product.
Okay, cool. Well, listen, the reason I ask is because I'm actually coming out with my film emulation LUT. So, I mean, if you'd like to try it out, I'd love to send it over.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
Do you ever shoot in colored stock?
Film?
Yeah.
No, the only film that I shoot, I just shot a roll yesterday, is black and white. 400, I use HP5, Ilford HP5.
Hey, what is it? HP5?
Yeah, H, as you guys say. And over there, 8E5, Hotel Papa 5. It's their 400 grain. It's the same as Triac. And then I scan it if I want to get it digital, I scan it.
Who's the? Oh my God, this is Ilford, yeah.
It's British company.
Is there a print to this?
You're what?
Is there a print?
What does that mean?
Like, well, because like you're shooting a negative, right?
Right.
So like to develop a print.
Then you put it in an enlarger and you print it on paper.
No, but like, no, not like
Is there a
paper.
positive version of it?
Yeah, is there a positive version?
No, that's only color, and that's Kodachrome.
Really?
Yeah, Kodachrome has been out forever. It hasn't.
No, I'm saying like I didn't
for a
think
while.
that it would only be for color. I'm saying.
No, there's no positive version of black and white film that I know.
Because I'm looking specifically for like film stocks that have a positive print.
I think there's color that do it, but I don't know of a black and white film that has a black and white positive film.
Because I'm going to be doing all of the Kodak ones. I'm going to be doing like Kodak Gold, Kodak Ultra Max, Kodak.
Those are all negative films. Those aren't positive films.
Yeah, I know, but you can. There is a positive print to all of them. Because the whole thing is, I can emulate the negatives.
There's a positive print to any negative film. It's called an enlarger or a contact print.
What do you mean a contact print?
1-to-1. You can take the negative and print it 1-to-1, no enlarger, or you can raise the negative up and put a light source behind it, and then it will become larger, so you can print.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. Because the print is usually like the positive to the negative, which gives it like the actual characteristics. Like the print, the negative only measures density. You would need the actual positive to that negative to actually make like any sort of like contrast adjustment or like a saturation adjustment or whatever. So without the actual positive, you don't have any of the actual characteristics come out. You just have like the density of all the colors within the negative.
I thought you could play with see, look, I don't do this for a living. I thought I only do in film. I thought you could do that all electronically in the computer.
No, you can. Absolutely, you can. My thing is that, like, because, for example, like, I'm trying to emulate the entire process. So, like, for example, like, if I were to, like, right now, what I'm doing, what I'm developing right now. I mean, I don't really care, to be honest. Like, we had John Kitover fucking talking about how he wanted to get voted in, fucking whatever bullshit that he's talking about.
That's in the background investigation.
Yeah, and plus, look, Mike's a photographer. He would get my.
Okay,
I'd love to send.
I'm sensitive to geeking out on people. So.
Oh no, I'll geek out anywhere. I don't care.
Okay.
Mike, I'll be able to send you a film emulation you can test out. I'll try and do Fuji just for you. If you have a specific film stock in mind, I'll send it to you.
So then, why don't you just scan a print from?
Wait, what are you asking? I missed it, Simon. What are you saying?
Just scan a print.
Well, I am going to scan a print, but I actually need the characteristics from the negative in order for the print to actually match the digital.
So what do you need?
Basically, I've developed a system where I can profile film, like basically like 1-to-1 scientifically. And I know you said you love those Fuji colors, and if there was a particular, I just bought like 2 Aperture Nova 300s, and I'm buying the Seaconic C7000 so I can like scientifically map the digital response of the sensors to film.
Yeah, I think Fuji Provia is the one that I like the best. That's the one that I use the most.
What is it? Fuji Provia?
Yeah, that's
Provia, yeah, Provia.
Is there a print to that?
Is there a print to it? What do you mean?
That's the,
like
you're hitting the same wall in talking to Simon that I just did.
Basically, okay, look. For example, let's say in motion picture, okay, I'll give you a motion picture because, so in motion picture, you realize let's say Quentin Tarantino shoots a movie in like Kodak 500T, 35 millimeter, 5219. That's the negative, right? That's the thing that gets processed in the film. Then, if you were to finish that negative and go to a positive print, you would need the actual stock, which is a 2383 stock. That basically they take the film, they shine a light through the negative, and then print it. Yeah, and then they print it onto a new stock called the 2383 that has all of the.
Wait, is that for a still for one frame?
That they do that for every frame of the movie. They print it onto the 2383. So you have a new
but that's
film
like old
stock.
film printing where you'd use a projector and you'd have a paper come to the.
With a negative. Wait, that doesn't make any sense to me, Simon.
Why not?
Because I used to work in a movie theater. In the movie theater is a negative on a huge roll. It's just a continuous negative. It's frames, right? And it runs at as
No, the film. No, they would actually have the print. They would have to have the print. Otherwise, if you're just getting like a very flat image in the from the negative.
Well, welcome to the world of big screen movie theaters.
But they have the prints. That's what I'm saying. No. They like if you look at all the movies.
If you hold the print up to light, can you see through it?
What?
If you took what you call this print, if you
Yeah.
held it up to the light, is it opaque or can you see through it?
You can see through it.
That's a negative.
No, that's the print.
The print in the sense that they.
No, the print is what goes through. Is what gets.
You're using a film terminology for photographic purposes. We have to print a negative is something different in the film industry than it is in the photographic world.
No, in the photographic world, they have actually, I'll give you the actual because I forgot the name because I just learned it
That's the problem we're running into. I know exactly what you're talking about now.
Yeah, like I know you know what I'm talking about. It's just like a regular. It looks like a regular sheet. Yeah, it looks like a regular sheet that you just develop, but it has all of like the characteristics. It's not like a normal like piece of paper. It's the paper that has like the contrast and all that stuff that you develop.
It still ends up on this huge reel that's like 70 miles long, by 70 meter or 75. Is it 35 millimeter or 70 millimeters wide? So like, why are you talking about paper?
I'm talking about for still photography now. It'd be Kodak Endura, that's it.
The Velvia is much brighter. Go with the Velvia. Velvia, or Velvia, however you pronounce it. Some people do it one way, some people say it the other way.
Kodak Endura. Yeah, that's it. RA4 color paper. That's it. Yeah. So if you look this up, Kodak Endura RA4.
Right. RA4 is just the paper that you print the negatives on.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's the print.
But the richness of it doesn't come from.
No, it does. No.
Not that I'm aware of. I've never understood. The paper usually has a speed associated with it, and it has a grain structure. So there's that. If you're talking about the grain structure.
Well, it also has like the contrast and saturation, though. No.
Yeah, there are elements of that.
Different papers, different papers produce different results.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I'm basically
What the characteristics of the paper in terms of speed, in terms of contrast, in terms of saturation, right?
Yeah. Well, not speed, because I mean you can't emulate the speed once it's it's digitally taken. But like the contrast and saturation are the characteristics.
In a darkroom, paper has speed. It's a question of how much light gets.
Oh, exactly. But that's more of like the development process, because this is a digital emulation. That goes right out the window.
Yeah, it's instantaneous.
But my process, I have to make sure, like basically like my ISO sensitivity on my digital camera was 640, and because the stock that I was using was a Kodak 500T, I had to match the sensitivities. So I had to basically shoot 640, because the native ISO of my Sony camera is 640, and I had to use 1/15 of a shutter on my film camera.
What do you mean by the native?
Well, because like
whatever you want it to be.
No. Because it's a distribution of light, and the native ISO with basically like the middle point between how much how sensitive your sensor is between in the shadows versus in the highlights. 640 is where you get an even distribution of both. But if you're shooting at, let's say, like 1,000 ISO over like 640, well, then you're losing information in the shadows to preserve information in the highlights. Or if you want more shadow
dynamic
detail,
range.
then you lose.
It's dynamic range, Simon. To maximize dynamic range, you have to shoot within the native ISO.
Yeah, exactly.
Say it like that. That makes more sense.
Sorry, I'm just very technical in these explanations, but basically that's what it is. So I shoot in 640, and then I have to shoot at f8, because I have to go. I'm doing exposure brackets going up 5 stops and then down 5 stops from f8. So then I have to shoot at 1/15 on the film camera, and then I have to shoot at 1/20th on my digital camera, so that I have the exact same amount of light coming in.
Hold on, let's.
Because it's a third of a stop.
Under.
Anyways, if there was anybody who could appreciate what I've been developing, it would be like you and Mike. That's why I just brought this up, because I just spent the last year learning about all this shit.
Oh, so I wouldn't be the person that's the number one order on the receipt, huh?
Well, I mean, like, you'll never actually have the opportunity to test it. So, like, I mean, I appreciate the support.
Yeah,
But,
what I mean is I take pictures.
do you edit it? I mean, you wouldn't even be able to use it in Lightroom, but like if you download Raw Therapy, you can try it for sure.
His pictures are always out of focus, and it's not because he drinks.
I mean, Raw Therapy is actually a free download. So, and I actually am planning on doing one with the iPhone. So, if do you have Log? Can you shoot in Log in on your iPhone? I don't know what iPhone you have.
Just raw.
Oh, I mean, if you shoot RAW, yeah, you can definitely use the LUT for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lou, you look at raw, right?
Yeah. I guess that's why we're friends. Nothing wrong with liking it raw.
That's right. Duplicate time. So wait. So is Mike still there? Is there a positive print to the Fuji? What is it? Fuji Provia.
That's where you're running into problems, because for any film you can print it on different paper. It's not like a one-to-one relationship. This is a suggested one, but you can print it on a wide variety of things.
Well, I would love to I mean, the wider,
Hold on, let me see.
the better, to be honest.
Which speed? I think it only comes in what? Is it 200?
So
The higher, the better, to be honest.
So, like, the film part of the Fuji Provia, like, the film is responsible for, like, the hue of the colors, the hue of the green, how much blue the green has in it, or how much yellow the green has in it. That's what the film does, right? And then certain films, like slide film, are more colorful than other types of film, like 35 millimeter, like regular film. But then, at the same time, you have paper. The paper really just provides the silver substrate. The paper, depending on how it's created, will provide more or less contrast in the blacks and the whites and the shadows and the highlights. And then it will also provide a grain level. It can, which is different, which handles different amounts of light differently. But it's not going to change. Like, it's not going to. The paper isn't going to make blue. Isn't going to make a green color more blue. The paper's not going to do that. That's the film part. That's the difference between what the film does and what the paper is responsible for in the finished print in traditional, like, film print photography.
Oh, I thought, okay, so my understanding was that, like, negatives only provide the density required to actually print.
No. What? Oh, go ahead. No, they don't. No, they don't. The negatives have color in them. That's why you have to. That's why black and white negatives can be processed under red light, and slide film has to be processed in pitch black, because the light spectrum will affect the slide film and ruin it. The slide has the full color in it. That's why you can shine a light through a slide, a 35 millimeter slide, and you can watch you put it in a slide projector and you can watch a movie.
That's right.
Same way film works.
Right. See, that's what when I was talking originally, Simon, I was talking about black and white, where the negative does provide the density.
Exactly, but black and white, the paper does too. In that case, black and white, they're both.
Yeah, but the majority of it comes from you can't make it up if the negative doesn't have the density. Like you
can dodge and burn. Yeah, you can dodge and burn.
It's a pain there.
Then it creates noise. So
yeah.
I mean, you do dodge and burn in black and white. That's what you do. That's a little.
I know, but in general, you prefer not to.
Well, my whole thing was like.
Yeah, but if you look like Man Ray, right? Like Man Ray's the master of black and white, in contrast and all that. If you look at his work, he dodges and burns the fuck out of it. Like that's not shot in camera like that.
Look at the picture. He actually has those contact prints, and then he drew lines around them and said, "Okay, plus this." Negative that.
Exactly. So he's doing that with his hand and with the little lollipop.
Dodging tools. And,
yeah.
My understanding of this whole process, like the way I conceptualized it, was basically like the negative is just basically like log, and then the print is like the Rec 709. That was it. That's like how I conceptualized this whole thing.
I don't know. See, it does. I'm with Yakov. I think it's confusing to think of the film side of it, because I don't know the film side very well. What I think of film as, when I think of a movie, like a movie on film, the big roll, I think of that film as like individual slide.
Exactly.
Slides, like one slide, a 35 millimeter slide, it comes on a strip because that's the way it does in the camera, and you cut it into squares, and then you put it in little paper, outlines that you can drop into the slide projector. So I picture a movie just like that, except movie film is all still attached, and it just runs through.
No, but that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, because the whole process of like a movie. Like, if you look at, for example, like Jurassic Park or whatever, like they always say, like, oh, it's got the 2383 look. 2383 is another film stock that they print, that they shine a light through the negative to print onto this new stock. So it has all the characteristics.
Yeah, see, that's the part that I don't understand. Because that's the part I don't understand. Because a movie
film photography.
Well, it is. Plus, what you're describing to me is basically like taking film, still film, camera film, and then shining a light through it onto another piece of film, not paper. And if they're doing that, then I guess I didn't know they did that, because there is no second step necessary. You process the film and it comes out with the colors on the actual film.
Well, okay, so
not smoking something, Mike.
So I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying like that's not a process that people use. I'm just saying like the full, like the intended characteristics of like what Kodak envisions what their customers utilize is the whole part of like, you know, if I'm Kodak and I say, listen, like the negative is the first step in the process, but then in order to actually maximize the development of the full characteristics, you need the positive. So you have to develop the positive on the print.
Yeah, that's true. But the positive, the quote-unquote positive, which I've never heard it called that before, is weird, but to me. But the positive is created simply by shining a light through the negative onto a piece of paper. But in a movie, you're not shining it onto a piece of paper. So what you're describing to me sounds like you're shining it on another piece of film. Another stock of film.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they're doing.
And then that's okay. I didn't know they did that. It seems weird.
It's a really complicated process, but
that's why they make a print. And I've heard that phrase. But the problem is when you use that phrase, Simon, to a bunch of film photographers, we think something completely different.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I had no idea because I don't know like what the process was. I just knew like I looked into it like briefly for me to figure out like which stocks I should do.
The same thing with subjectivism.
Is when he started talking about Provia. That's a slide film. It's a positive.
Right.
So
Provia is a positive. Oh, Provia is a positive.
So Provia is a positive already. It's a full color little picture. You just shine light through it. It's a slide.
Yeah. It's like
so it's
from 64.
It's like slide
film. Why not shoot with the Provia?
You can.
So the Provia comes out with a full color little transparent picture that you just shine a light through onto a piece of paper to print, right?
Remember those carousels, way back when you used to like watch the, you come home from a trip and you send the Kodachrome to be processed at the photomat and they come back and then you put them into the Kodak carousel.
And so you have to be really, really, really specific with your exposures when you're shooting slide film. You can't overexpose or underexpose because you can't recover that later. When you develop the film, it comes out as it is, and then you shine a light through it. So you don't have the ability, you don't have the secondary step to dodge and burn a slide when you're going to look at a screen. You have to shoot it 100%. You have to shoot it 100% right exposure, or it'll be too overexposed or underexposed when you actually look at it.
I'm looking at it. It's pretty expensive, but it's also like it's gonna be very difficult to actually expose this because I have to match. What is this? 2, 4?
I would look at
like 2.5 stops difference or 3 stop difference.
I would look at I think it's called Mastic. There's a company that does what you're talking about. But they do it. They make profiles that affect raw files. Let me see if it's called. Hang on 1 second. What's it called? There's a company that does what you're talking about for like Lightroom and stuff like that.
I think they're reinventing a wheel that's already been optimized.
On the digital photography side,
nobody's doing it to this level.
Mike, are you agreeing with me or with him?
He's agreeing with you.
I'm kind of in the middle of both of you, actually. I'm not sure that. See, my problem is I'm not familiar enough with the film, with the movie part of it, to like comment on what Simon's saying. I'm just not sure Simon knows exactly what he's talking about.
Did I just hear that you're in a Simon and Jacob sandwich?
Wait, what?
I kind of am stuck there.
Wait, what did you say? Wait, what did you say?
The only thing she could offer is a comment.
Movies, he's in a sandwich.
Oh.
Wait, which
I want you to see something. Hang on. I want you to see something. I'm trying to find it. Hold on 1 second. It's called, what the fuck is this? Where are these things at? Fuji profile for Sony camera. Fuji profile for Sony cameras.
The thing is that I'm sure that they have like some profiles. I don't know if it's to the extent that like how accurate it is. Like I'm talking about almost a 1-to-1 scientific replication. Like almost nobody I know is doing this, and like I've really like looked at this. Like nobody is doing this. There's maybe 5 people in the film industry.
Because nobody cares enough.
Oh no, but I mean I know for like color grading and stuff.
What's your intended use? Simon, let's start with that. What do you like?
He's trying to scam me for $30.
No, what's the use application of this?
It's so basically anyone in post-production or in production can use this to emulate film. So if they want to make their movies look like film with this particular Kodak stock, I'll have this available. and then I'm also gonna extend it to photographers.
Emulating the grain of the film, not the paper. Like
I'm emulating.
Using me.
No, I'm emulating the negative response of how like if you were to develop a negative, you would have a 1-to-1 emulation from a digital camera to.
No, you only when you 1-to-1 is a positive.
Simon, go look up
1-to-1 is a negative, and
go look up cobalt-image.com. Cobalt-image.com. They basically do I use it. So here's what it is. It goes camera by camera specific. It's actually programmed for the camera model, meaning that if I pay for a Sony A7 III, if I pay for a Fuji emulator for a Sony A7 III through them, it won't work on a Sony A7 IV. It only works on Sony A7 III. It's applied to the raw file in Lightroom as a profile before you begin editing. So it affects the raw file in ways that are very different than like a filter does when you create like presets. It's not a preset.
You can't get this. Yeah, you can't get this level of detail in a preset. I was just about to say.
Yeah, it's like a Right, it's like a technical adjustment to the actual native Sony file, and it's created camera by camera by Cobalt, and it translates. They translate like Fuji Provia into. Like an A7 III raw file for a Sony can appear to be a Fuji profile. It'll automatically adjust the grain, so automatically do this, automatically do that, and then you bring it into Lightroom, and then you can apply presets, save presets, and stuff like that. So I've been using it in my wedding work now for like a year because I felt like the A7 III files are very kind of anemic, and the skin tones are kind of pink. And I liked it for a long time, but then I wanted more depth in the colors, and so I went and bought this profile through Cobalt, and it costs it's like $150 total, or a little bit more maybe.
Holy shit! I was gonna sell mine for like $50.
Yeah, this is $150 for just the A7 III, and I own an A7 IV as well. And I forgot. Oh shit! I can't use it. Every time I open the file, it's not available to me. And
because it's camera specific to the raw file.
Yes.
What's the name of this?
It's called cobalt-image.com, and if you look at here, I'll put a link to one of my recent weddings. I just edited a wedding. Well, I don't have the pictures yet. The pictures look totally.
Wait, Cobalt?
Cobalt-image.com.
I can't spell either word. I must have a problem with my spelling.
We provide Cobalt. It's COBALT dash image.
Like I can't spell, and I have 2 O's.
Elevates your professional videos with Cobalt images. Advanced color grading technology. Our LUTs are designed for seamless compatibility. Oh, I'm curious to see this.
Well, you're basically doing the same thing.
Reinventing a wheel that's been invented.
But this is only for still, Yakov, and this is for Lightroom, right?
Correct. He's trying to do it for film. But haven't you done this for film?
Yeah, I mean, there's people.
Somebody done this for film?
Yeah, there are people who have done it. I mean, like it's a very, it's the most generic thing. Like everybody sells a Kodak 500T 2383 LUT. The problem is it good? And I'm talking about people have used like very non-scientific ways to actually develop this. I'm talking about one of the highest produced quality LUTs that you can use for like any situation, basically, and nobody has been able to do that. Basically, no. There's only a handful of people who have been able to do the level that I'm talking about. There's a bunch of people who are like producing what I'm talking about, but at the level of like scientific endeavor that I'm talking about, maybe 5 people have done this, and I'm really excluding like some of the elite like companies, because they have like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment that I just don't have access to. But like in terms of like I have like $15,000 worth of shit, and I'm able to do this at home.
You got a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I'll make him.
That's why your girlfriend called me complaining.
He's a professional.
Yeah, it's like, that's right.
It's professional shit.
Yeah, and that's actually that is actually a very interesting thing. I might have to do the custom profile Mike, for Lightroom customers, because I was just saying like I could just send people to like Raw Therapy, and then they can just apply all of their the LUTs over there, because Adobe is just like I find their products like really not good, like at all. It's really like not custom friendly.
Oh no, their products
So,
are
like,
they're horrible. But they really
Yeah,
they've gotten
they're
really
just-
bad over the years. They used to be great. Now they're pretty poor. And they leak memory like crazy. Like they're really badly designed now. They're overcoded essentially. They're
What do you
too
mean by
they're too.
leak memory? What does that mean?
So they use a tremendous amount of RAM that they don't actually need.
Yeah.
So, and it's gotten overkill though. Like when I use Lightroom and Photoshop open together now to edit a wedding, I can sometimes be using as much as like 50 to 60 gigabytes of RAM with 2 programs, which is like retarded. Like there's absolutely no reason for that. There's nothing. But it's because they become bloated because they engineer code on top of they code on top of other code on top of other code, and now that they're decades into it, they're just getting overwhelming. And so now I don't think that it's completely by accident either. It's kind of like forced what's the word? Forced what's the word? Not when it's worn out, when the Apple plans it, forced obsolescence, is that what they call it?
Yeah, forced obsolescence.
They'd have to be in bed with hardware manufacturers to force people to get bigger and bigger.
Well, which I'm sure they are with Apple. I'm sure that Adobe is in bed with Apple in some respects for that part of it. I would think. Or at least Adobe, yeah, I would think so. I would think that Adobe's doing that. I don't know, maybe not. Adobe's Adobe.
Honestly, like I don't know like the photography side, but I know there's starting to be like a lot of alternatives to the Adobe stuff, and like I really started to like Raw Therapy right now. It's like it's fully like you can use cube files, you can use presets, you can use whatever the fuck you want, and it has all the customizability.
Like therapy, I can understand all the stuff you've been through.
Yeah, no,
Therapy's good. Therapy's good.
It's very
Great for
profitable for
therapy.
your therapist.
That's right.
Maybe your therapist will sleep with you like Adobe slept with Apple.
That's
You
right.
did say he was in bed with them, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm looking at like these Fuji stocks, but that's actually a really good point though. Like, I might have to go the profile route. What the fuck? David, what did you send me?
I was thinking about that we were talking about earlier that I didn't want to say in public.
Oh.
I mean, I think Simon the challenge, to explain it in layman's terms, the challenge you have is to distinguish why your product is more important or revolutionary than LUTs in general. Like, I don't think that Cobalt, very few people do what Cobalt does for Lightroom. And very few people, those profiles come from the camera manufacturers usually, not from independent software companies. And so I think the challenge, and I'm speaking from a Lightroom perspective and a still print perspective because I don't do video, but same difference. I think it's to explain to somebody, listen, this is more important than this is more important than a LUTs, because you all use LUTs to get kind of what you want. But you have an advantage over LUTs by using my new thing because blah, 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 blah. And to say that it's just simply more accurate in its ability to emulate traditional stocks, I think that's valid, but then you'd almost have to show what you mean, because at some point, those LUTs can pick up the general look of different types of film pretty well. Do you know what I mean?
So basically, like, I mean, just to briefly go through it, like, when I mean, like, accurate, I mean, like, how true do the colors actually because I mean, as you know, like film is not the same as like, digital motion is not the same as like photography in the sense that like there's like moving parts because like there could be like exposure differences like within the exact same scene. So like a LUT has to be able to stand, to a lot higher degree of scrutiny than like a digital photo where you just shift the like up and down values and you can do whatever you want. So like a LUT is 3D as opposed to like a 2D preset in Lightroom. So basically, but what I could absolutely do what Cobalt Image does though, because like I know like exactly how a linear image, like a raw photo, basically reacts. So I could actually emulate what Cobalt Images does, and it would be like fairly simple. I technically just did it. Basically, I just did like their entire process, but I didn't customize it directly to Lightroom. But I think that would actually be like a really cool thing, though.
So when you're editing like a movie and you have different cuts and the DP has changed the lighting or maybe changed the white balance or something in between them, or just shot one take, overexposed it or underexposed it because the clouds are moving in and out and he's not very good at paying attention, whatever. When you have these things, you line them up and then you cut them back and forth between takes and they're back to back to each other and it's switching, right? It's switching brighter and darker, but it's also potentially even switching colors or something like that.
Yeah.
Does the LUTs doesn't account for that. It doesn't account for the exposure variance, right? It only accounts for the color shift.
So it maps the color. Like if it was like supposed to be like a particular like cyan color, but then the LUT reads that cyan color as like purple, for example, like just a radical change.
Right.
Then it's gonna read it as purple.
Right. So that's exactly how Lightroom then. So, but I was trying to understand the three-dimensional part you're talking about, because you still have to custom adjust in whatever video editing app you're using. You still have to custom adjust scene by scene to make sure that the white balance feels consistent between takes and that the exposures are accurate, right?
Absolutely.
So that's pretty much exactly the same as editing pictures. Like when I'm shooting a wedding, I mean, I'm very specific the way I shoot and I'm very accurate. So I adjust my color temperature while I'm shooting. I walk into a room and I look at the lights and I judge them visually and I say, oh, these are kind of, medium orange. So I'm going to say that this is 3600 Kelvin or whatever. And I put my camera on 3600 Kelvin before it even starts. So I don't use auto white balance, which keeps my end result really consistent, right? If I'm in an area and I'm shooting white balance, the camera's bouncing. It's every time I turn somewhere, it's going, oh, 4,000 Kelvin. Oh, wait, no, 36 Kelvin. Oh, this, that. You bring it back, it's all over the fucking place. But since I shoot custom white balance by myself all the day, then when I come home, I have way less post-production because my colors are consistent in the different areas I work no matter what. Even if I don't get it right in a certain area, at least it's consistent from shot to shot in that area. So when I shift one, I can copy-paste those adjustments to all.
Yeah,
right? And so movies, they do that by default. Like, they don't use auto white balance or DPC.
In these weddings?
Yeah, definitely shooting raw.
You carry around this huge hard drive with you?
But here's the deal, Yakov. No, I mean, cards are cheap now. Big cards are cheap.
Yeah, I know.
Here's the deal, Yakov. What people believe is if you shoot raw, you can fix white balance later. That's not true.
No,
you can, sort of.
It's a lot harder. Let's put it that way.
Sort of, but not really.
Losing you.
I mean,
harder. You can sometimes, and yeah, it's not. I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's harder, but
it's not only just harder. It's actually impossible.
No. There's mathematical transformations for you to change white balance. I mean, I don't know like how like mathematically it is in like Lightroom or whatever, but like in DaVinci, like it's just math. Like to just like tell the camera like, okay, you read this at 5600, like now you're just gonna read this at like 3200 or whatever.
That's not true though, because it can't recover. It can't shift 100% back to what it would have been in the camera natively. Sometimes, depending how far you're off.
Well, if you're shooting in RAW, you are though, because you're shooting in linear light. So you're literally just telling the camera, like, you saw it at this Kelvin. That's it.
Then maybe the difference, if that's true, and
I did a whole deep dive. I'm fairly certain.
If that's true, then there's no reason anyone should ever be shooting auto white balance, because it literally triples your post-production workload. Like, it's the dumbest thing you can do to shoot auto white balance. Like, why do people think that's convenient and when they can switch letter? That's not true. Auto white balance definitely bakes in something into the raw file that is not exactly adjustable later.
So I'll tell you right now. So especially in RAW, you're 100% safe, because if you're working in RAW, that means you're working in linear light, and it's pre the bake in of the camera matrix, which is where your camera actually decides what white balance you're choosing. So like 100% certain, I'm 100% certain that just telling again, like this has to be calculated math and not like some slider. Like that's why, like, I'll make that point very clear. So like in DaVinci Resolve, there's a tool called chromatic adaptation.
Okay, wait. There's I'm keying in. I believe what you're saying, but there's something I'm missing trying to explain it to you. There's color of light and there's quality of light, right? Yeah. So the color of light is the Kelvin. The quality of the light is how much of the light spectrum the light source emits, right?
Yeah.
So when you're shooting, when you're picking your temperature and you're under a less than 100% CRI value light source, say that the light source is traditional 3200 Kelvin light bulb, right? And the fire inside there is lacking magenta. So when you're in there and you're setting your white balance to 3200, thinking that you can adjust it later and make it look better, it's completely missing magenta in the first place. So when you come back later and you go to try to pull in the magenta because it's missing, because the picture's too orange, there's no magenta in the raw file to recover. It doesn't exist. It was never captured.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So those are just values that you're. So hold on. Let me just make the distinction. So I'm saying, let's say for example, you have no control over the scene, like you're just using the sun as a key. You know, you fuck up your white balance. Like in camera, like I'm saying 100% certain you can change it.
Right, but the sun's 100% CRI value. At least
right. Well, I mean, it would be
not at sunset, but
it would be like 5600 Kelvin, for example. Let's say you shoot at like 2000 Kelvin, you have like a super blue image. Okay, just
yes,
as an example. Okay.
Yes.
So now, let's say you're like fuck, like you know, what do I do? You, with 100% certainty, you can actually change that, no problem. There's math to fix that. Now, the difference is if, for example,
if you're shooting in a less than quality, but if you're shooting in a less than ideal light quality setting, say like again under 3200 Kelvin bulb that's missing magenta, it's like 70% CRI value, right?
Yeah.
If you're shooting already in that, and you vastly screw up your white balance in customs. So you're there and you shoot it at 5600 and you should be at 32, right? Later, when you go back from that file in the raw file and you adjust it back to 32, my belief from doing it, from living with it, has been that you're not going to get the same quality as if you would have set 32 in the first place under those less than ideal lighting quality conditions.
It's funny. If you want, I can show you, because I actually just like this whole chart thing. Like basically, I just took a file and I shot with my Sony camera. I can show you exactly what the raw file looks like out of camera. Have you ever imported a raw photo in raw therapy? Have you ever done that?
No, I haven't.
Okay, if you're ever curious, okay, I was shocked by doing this because I thought that the image was completely underexposed, like I'd never seen an underexposure before. Okay, but apparently Sony does something with their matrix. So like for example, let's say you shoot or actually maybe it does this you're on Mac, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if it does this on Mac. If you ever click a raw photo, okay, like let's say it's just still in the file in the SD card, and you click on it to view it, does it ever show you like a dark image and then it pops up into like a bright image, or it goes like bright to dark? Like, does it ever do that?
No, but I can picture what you're talking about. I can definitely.
Okay. The reason that it does do that is because of that underexposure that I was showing you. So like, I'm not saying that the image is underexposed, but the way that the actual camera processes the image, if you ever take any of your raw photos and you just put it into raw therapy, you're gonna see, and you put it into the neutral setting, not like some camera profile thing. You just put neutral setting in raw therapy, you're gonna see like almost a black image. And the reason like the camera captures that is because like before your manufacturer, I mean, I think you said you use Sony, right? Before Sony applies its matrix into the camera, or Adobe does it in post actually, there's an entire process being done before you actually see your processed image. And basically that's just like math being applied to the image to basically take it out of like that dark image. So like I could send you an image on Facebook right now that's just 100% raw sensor data. Like this is untouched data, and I just manually white balance it myself. So like you can 100% like white balance any shot just using math.
Huh. I mean, it makes sense because that's what RAW is versus JPEG. You're not baking in the exactly. Decisions, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess the part that had me confused from experience is that I was confusing that with the incredible benefit of avoiding auto white balance in order to reduce the lack of consistency later in the editing process. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
I was because that's true, because that's a true thing, but it's not necessarily correlated to that reason. It has a different reason. The different reason is that your camera otherwise, under other white balance conditions in the same lighting scenario, is sometimes bouncing around on its own because it's making decisions shot by shot, and it's not always staying consistent. And that is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you say like, listen, like the quality of light, or the white point is going to be like 5600, then you know, okay, like all like X shots are going to be 5600. If you know like the lighting changes and like you're at like 4500, then you know, okay, X amount of shots at 4500. You can just change all of that later, and you never have to worry about that.
Right, because if you go in an under white balance situation, you're shooting like a reception, and there's windows, and you're moving around, and the camera is flipping around. Later, you have to go through hundreds of photos, and you have to basically recalibrate. You gotta custom tune the white balance on every single photo independently. There's no cut and paste opportunities.
Yeah.
And that's something that just, like, of all the things I've learned in 30 years of photography, is that post-production, every hour you spend in post is losing money as a photographer. You've already earned your money behind the camera, and now you go home and you're losing money while you're doing it. You're basically making $300 an hour, and now it's $280 an hour because I worked a little longer, or it's $200 an hour. Like you're losing money as you post-production. And setting custom white balance while you work, and you don't need a fucking gray card like a bunch of weirdos running around with that thing. That's a pain in the ass. Wow. You literally just eyeball it and go, okay, well, I figured this out, right? High noon sun is always 5600.
Yeah.
Like, just knowing that is like the best thing you can do for your workflow in the entire fucking world. There's nothing that will save you more time, and it's crazy that people don't pay attention.
Yeah, I mean, look. If you want, if you're interested, I just sent you basically like 2 photos on Messenger. One of them is the actual raw file straight out of my camera. Like there's no processing done to the image. And then the second image is basically the processed white balanced version.
Oh yeah, that's weird. It's kind of like It's like
It's super dark.
camera. It's like the camera has like that black file is full of numbers on the pixel level, but the camera hasn't interpreted the numbers for the human eye to see them yet.
Correct. And if you look at raw therapy, this is like where kind of like the concept clicked in my head. Basically, like before the Matrix, it looks like this, and then in the not the Matrix, the post processing, Adobe applies its own curve to bring this image back out, and raw therapy actually provides you with a custom curves depending on like what type of look you're trying to go for. So like they have like a film curve, they have a digital curve, they have a Sony curve, whatever the hell curve you want to bring this image back out. So then it applies its own profile. So it's really
interesting. And that's what Cobalt's doing, right? With the food.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what Cobalt's doing. That's why like when you brought this Cobalt thing up, that really like, you know, put a little light bulb in my head that I can be hyper specific to any camera, and I can charge whatever the hell I want because it is specific to a camera. And I can do all of these because I have these charts. Because basically, like, if you see the chart on the left, I can actually invert the camera matrix. So like there is no processing in any stage. And then I can have like the most custom contrast curve because I have the chart in the middle for all the little grayscales, and then I can basically copy any camera that I want. So if you want to make it look like, if you want your Sony to look like a Canon, I can do that. If I want to make it look like a Fuji stock, if I want to make it look like a Kodak stock, I can do all of that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I
and Cobalt's.
Sorry, what were we saying? Cobalt's version?
Cobalt's version of Fuji for the Sony A7 III is very well done. Like, at some point, you need a human. Like, I have an exceptional eye for color. I don't know, I just do nowadays. I've done it so many fucking thousands of hours, just what it is. And so if I was to look at a picture and someone would say, I want my picture like this, how do I do it? I could say, oh, you need to increase the blues and the greens. You need to remove some saturation from the orange. You need to do this, you need to do that. And boom, it would just appear there. You know, you up your curve in this spot and over here, whatever. Like, I could just visually look at two pictures and tell the difference between them in that respect. At some point, the people at Cobalt have to be able to do that too. At some point, they have the engineers that are responsible for the color number adjustments might not be the same people that are responsible for deciding that blue number has to be increased at a certain ratio for this color hue.
Yeah.
They're two different things. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And basically, yeah, you actually just put a fucking crazy idea in my head. Oh my god. I think I will do this.
Well, this is like the nerdiest thing for me. Like this is when you and I talk about color like this. This is what I get excited about. Like I don't know. It's so funny how we can be so geeky about it. Other people are like, what the fuck? But like
$188 for this LUT.
That's really fun.
Insane.
That's pretty cheap for a slot. How much are you paying per sluts?
I don't even think it's that great, to be honest.
Well, I mean, think of presets are not even real. Presets are bullshit, complete bullshit. And those things sell for $50-$60 each sometimes. I mean, and they're nothing. I mean, at least a profile is legitimately something. I mean,
I know, but like the profile doesn't look that good. I mean, the profiles don't even look that good. That's what I'm saying.
Well, and that's what I'm going with this. But Simon, that's what I'm going with this. That's because the expert color eye guy, the guy how to line up those two things, isn't the same guy as the guy punching the numbers to change how the camera program interprets the colors. And so if they have a bad matchup, but then they program it the way they intend to, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to accurately represent what was there. It's still up to interpretation.
It's because I'm looking at Cobalt images like Porsche LUTs. Like these are just don't look good to me. Like none of their products actually look very good to me. I don't know if it's just the
well, even the Fuji Provia, I changed the hues on the greens. I add more blue to the greens by default. As soon as I apply it, I go right in immediately and change the greens to my preset that I want, because it's not an exact match. But what it does is it alters mostly what it does for the Sony files is it increases the saturation at a rate that's very reminiscent of Fuji, and it shifts the pinks to orange a little bit by default, but at a granular level that can then be further tweaked with presets. That's what I like about it. It's the closest I can get to a starting point, and I can never get to where I end up with it without it. I can't just go in color-wise and manipulate everything.
It's because of the special type of contrast that it has, exactly. And the way it hits the I mean,
so it kind of like opens up a parameter for me that I can play with. It's inaccessible in the raw file by default, which is why even though one might critique the Cobalt to say, oh, this isn't a very good example, Provia. Look, I mean, I don't like this one. It doesn't look that much like this, whatever. That's not even relevant to me. It's that it extends the dynamic range of the color variables that I have in Lightroom under each hue that I can't otherwise do. It's almost like it turns Lightroom into Capture One Pro. Capture One Pro does that by default because Capture One Pro does exactly what you're talking about. They program their algorithm for each camera model by camera with a human eye. That's why Capture One's so good with color. But Capture One sucks with workflow. So I shoot Capture One when I'm on the table, tethered, and I use Lightroom for weddings. Capture One sucks for large volume files like weddings. So it's kind of like I get the best of both worlds with that Cobalt profile.
Mike, you're honestly, Cobalt are about to hate the shit out of you because I'm gonna undercut the shit out of them. I'll sell mine for like $75.
There's another person that does it too, by the way.
Camera.
There's another guy that does this. I think his name is Fred Mira or something. You can Google it. If you Google like Fuji profile for Sony, I think it's Fred Mira or something like that. I think he does the same thing. He's not just selling presets. He's actually gone deeper into the emulation part of it, of the profiles.
Okay, well, I mean, what is this, Fred? No, that's not.
Let me see if I can find him. Hold on a second. There's only two that I know that even do it, to be honest.
Yeah, these guys are gonna fucking hate me because I'm about to start looking into like the profile because I cannot believe people would actually buy this $188 for a fucking LUT for only one camera. That's
right.
insane.
Well, right. But now you get a bunch of Fuji profiles. You don't just get Provia. Like I can pick from like 15 different Fuji emulators per camera model.
So you get multiple emulation.
Camera, yeah. It's all the film from the one camera type, basically. All the most popular films.
Okay.
So, and you have to pay two things. You have to pay. I don't know. There's two files. You got to pay. One is the actual I own a Sony. I want it to look like Fuji. That's one file. And then the other file is this file that runs that file, and you have to buy both of them. So together, it's like $160.
Stock. I have to look at the different stocks because, I'm not even joking. I think I will go in this direction. I'll profile the shit out of I'll rent all the Sony cameras, I'll rent all the Canon cameras, the fucking Fuji cameras, the Panasonic cameras, anything that anybody shoots street photography, weddings, fucking portraits, whatever the hell. And because this is really,
you should do it and target. You can, if you target weddings, I'll give you my wedding work, and we can use it as the examples, and you can show them under different profiles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then target wedding photographers because there's lots of those guys.
I mean, I can also. Oh, you know what? You shoot. Oh no, but you don't have a 10-bit camera though. Oh wait, no, but if you shoot in RAW, no, I don't have the contrast curve to get you out of RAW though.
No, but I could shoot a wedding on a different camera each time. You could get at least all the Sony versions because I got the lenses for them. If I render
because
Mark
if I have
IV.
to, it's because the thing is, like, I'd have to rent the cameras and then shoot under all the lighting conditions.
That's what I'm talking about. But I do that at a wedding. So if I shot a full wedding under on a Sony.
Oh no, it wouldn't have to be you though. It would have to be me that profiles the charts that I just sent you under different lighting conditions, so then I can match those to the profile, to the stock of my choice, and then I have to match those and then input that profile into.
You couldn't just take like 3,000 wedding shots and then that like this batch of them was shot under 3,200 conditions. That doesn't work out.
No. It's because like the point of the charts is because like I have like the type of colors like in real life, like the most used colors in real life, and then I have like this AI thing that
Interesting.
automatically maps from like the 0 point of the camera from like D65, the white point, all the way up until like the most saturated color in that specific hue.
So it's like bracketing under like.
Yeah, exactly. And I also have exposure brackets so that specific color under 1 stop difference, 2 stop difference, 3, 4, 5 under, and then I have another exposure bracket that goes to +5. So I have like under the same lighting condition, I have 11 exposure brackets from like -5 to 0, then to 0 to +5, and then you have like that one hue, luminance value, saturation under all of those lighting conditions, and then you just move on to like whatever. You can start at 3,200, 2,000, 2856, 5,600 Kelvin, 4,000 Kelvin, 5,000 Kelvin, and then you do the red hue at like 25% saturation, 50% saturation, 75.
Oh, you know what? You know where I see what you remind me of when we used to have to color calibrate monitors. Don't have to do that anymore with Mac because they're so good. But you see these spiders. You hang a spider on there, and that's what it was doing.
Exactly.
It flips through all of those screens.
Exactly. It's exactly that. And I'm just doing that with cameras so that I can have like an interpretation of the digital, how digital captures the color, and then I do the exact same thing with the film, and then I have the way the film responds to those charts under the exact same lighting, under the exact same conditions, and then I just basically map 1-to-1.
Oh, that's really interesting. That now my brain's starting to understand it because I'm starting to connect like what the spider did versus that's interesting versus the different camera models.
Yeah. The spider just looks at the deviation of like what it knows to be the objective value of red versus what the red patch is on your screen is emitting, and then it just changes that deviation from whatever the red hue on your monitor is to what it knows to be red.
Right, and then it saves it as an ICC profile, which is what they find.
Correct. And then you have the ICC profile based off of the interpretations of all of the hues that it sends under like the different saturations and luminance values, etc.
All right. You know what's interesting is that in print world we work under CMYK conditions. If you're on a regular monitor and you open a CMYK file, it looks like dog shit, and then you switch it to RGB and it looks beautiful. But under printing conditions, the CMYK looks better than the RGB.
Yeah.
That always threw me off. Like it sucks when you're working with CMYK.
Yeah, it's just an interpretation thing, though. It's just like whatever reads it. Like if it's reading CMYK, then like under CMYK, then like you have to just do the conversion, and if you're in RGB, then you do the conversion, and it looks good.
Well, but when you're working in CMYK, you're staring at pictures that are essentially kind of ugly by default, knowing that they'll look good later, and working with them at that state, which is like a really weird. It's kind of like videos like that too. Sometimes you're filming movies and you look at the camera and it looks like total crap. Looks like the DP did a horrible job, and it's like, oh yeah, but that's because this is just a raw file. Like later it will be like dusted. So yeah.
Like that's it. Like for me, I really did conceptualize it for like the film negatives as just like a raw, like that desaturated, no contrast type of look. and then the print, the positive, is like the Rex 709, like the thing that just gives it a bit more life. But then you have to, like, you know, if you want to push and pull, if you want to expose it a little longer, whatever it might be, then you know, that's the quote unquote post processing that the image would require.
See, these are the kind of conversations we have to have in a photography room. The photographers on Clubhouse, they're a bunch of idiots. They just sit here and talk about their personal lives. They never talk about photography, technical. They never get technical.
It's because I've honestly, the last like 6 months, I've just been like doing a massive deep dive into like color science. So like, you know, this shit just fascinates me. Like the shit that goes, like the engineers that have to come up with these systems and like these like curves and all this shit is like, it really mind blowing. It's really, really impressive. Because do you know who Steve Yedlin is?
No.
The cinematographer who did like Star Wars, which one? The Last Jedi, or he shot Knives Out, Glass Onion, and Knives Out, like just the Knives Out franchise, basically.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen any of those movies. I keep seeing them on the thumbnails and I keep avoiding them.
Yeah. Well, anyways, he's the cinematographer for that, and he's basically like one of the biggest like tech nerds in terms of like cameras, and like all of my work is basically like just modeled after him.
Do you know who's the opposite of that? Do you know who's famous and the actually opposite of that? He's actually horrendous with color and cameras and doesn't give a fuck, and he acts as his own DP because he's got a giant ego and he's a bag of shit.
Who's this?
Steven Soderbergh. Steven Soderbergh. He is the absolute worst with color. He is garbage, and he operates as a director and a DP for himself. He does it both. But there's two types of DPs. When I used to work for Discovery Channel, I used to do shows for them. And when I would do stills, I would work for different directors. And sometimes I'd have a director who's a framing DP, so he sits in the back, and he's a DP, but he acts like a director of sorts. He only cares about the framing when he's behind the monitor. He very little cares about the camera, about the grips. He doesn't give a shit about the lighting guys. Like, he's like, just, you know, throw a light up. We need more light here. They go do it. He has no feedback for him. Basically, his best boy is doing all the lighting as a freaking DP because he doesn't give a fuck, even though he's a DP, because he's a framing DP. But then they have lighting DPs who are people like me who are obsessed with light, and they're trying to get beautiful shadows, and they're placing individual lights. Like, we did a scene where, like, one of the actors opening a fridge, and he's putting little tiny lights around the inside of the fridge in certain spots so that it will look a certain way when you open the fridge. Like, Soderbergh would never do that. Soderbergh blows out windows and mixes kelvins to look like absolute garbage, like total dog shit garbage. He has some of the worst I've ever seen. It's really embarrassing sometimes.
The only movies that I've seen are like realistically from him are like just the ocean movies. And Aaron Brockovich.
Or what?
The only movies that I've seen from Soderbergh are like Aaron Brockovich and like the Ocean 11 movies. You know, like,
okay, yeah. If you want to see the worst one ever, Sharon Stone's in it. It's a show. I'll have to Google it. Dude, you literally have to just watch the first episode of this and pay attention to what I'm talking about. He's got scenes where she's in her house. It's like at a ski lodge, so the windows are real. Everything outside is white snow, so he's shooting in a house. And he's shooting at like 3,200 Kelvin with windows behind her. And she's blown out, and they're blue, and they're like halo-affected blue bad, and she's like washed out, and he doesn't give a fuck. And he does entire scenes with it, and I literally want to throw up. It's the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. And he's not even doing it on purpose. He's doing it by default because he doesn't give a fuck. It's called
We're just dragging up the walls.
Oh, it's horrendous. I actually really want to talk to you about this. Let me see if I can find it. Hang on a second. Sharon Stone. Because I really want you to see how bad this is. He's only respected by directors. He's not respected by DPs. Mosaic. It's called Mosaic. Yeah. Look here. Look at this. Oh my God. Google Mosaic. Go Google Sharon Stone Soderbergh, and look at the second photo on Google that shows up. That's what I'm talking about. Look at this. This is how the movie looks. Do you see the shot that comes up? The second photo where she's like got her hands in her face, on her over her mouth. Yeah. Oh my God. This is such an example. You see that? The guy's on the right and she's on the left. She's got her hand over her mouth and there's a window behind him.
Yeah.
You see fucking how horrendous that is?
Well, it just looks like very digital. It doesn't look very good. I mean, this looks horrendous.
No, I'm not talking about digital. I don't know. Are you looking the same one I am? Hang on. Let me PTO.
Yeah, the guy's on the right side. She's got her hands on her right over her mouth.
Yeah, look at the blue halo over his hair. Look at how he's blowing out. Look at the overexposure and the loss of CRI value on his face, on his skin tones. Look at how disgusting it looks. It looks like I shot on idle white balance and I had no fucking idea what I was doing. Remember, this is a guy that has access to lighting equipment, and he's the DP. Who the fuck would do that? You would never do that even on purpose. It's horrendous. It's not even a judgment. Well, he's a director and a DP. He does it himself. He doesn't value DPs.
Really?
That's my point. He DPs his own shit while he's directing. And it's all over the fucking place. Look at you. There's two scenes in there you can see in Google. One of them's indoors. It doesn't have the window behind him, and it looks a little more traditional. It has an edge light on her. But that's a natural edge light, too. That's the other thing. That entire scene was shot. She's dark, and like most of it, you can't even see her face in half of that scene. Like, the whole thing is all... It looks like... Here's what it looks like. It looks like it was never processed by a color guy like you before it went to freaking publish. It literally looks like it was shot raw on a camera, and he just fucking went with it. And his name is... Dude, I hate it. It's like I want to punch Steven Soderbergh in the fucking throat. Because he's so disrespectful to life.
Very good, to be honest. I mean, especially for high-end...
Dude, he's one of the most famous directors in the world. He's one of the top 10 directors in the world.
Well, the thing is, the ocean movies, I wouldn't say that there was anything stylistic in terms of color. I mean, it was really just oh, hold on 1 second. Sorry, I have to get the fan to my girlfriend. Hold on 1 second.
given that is a far cry, and it's been confirmed time and time again by the United States government that he was a Mossad agent. I'm trying to pull up this thing.
So we got, there's multiple reasons, right? He kept a passport with Saudi address.
Yep.
And listed his nationality as Saudi, while this was an Israeli. It led to speculation about intelligence ties due to the use of alias and multiple IDs. So.
Yeah, here it is. So this was about 3 hours ago. The former Prime Minister Bennett tries to slam to claim that the allegations of Epstein was false. However, then there's another article that says that Tucker Carlson suggests that Jeffrey Epstein was working with the CIA. Ex-CIA informant claims that Epstein was working for Mossad and the CIA. Here it says FBI information reveals that I don't know how to say this name, but he had worked with the FBI, suggesting to indict many people, and was suspected to working with a foreign agency with Mossad. So you can go ahead and follow the former PM of Israel and say like, oh yeah, he definitely wasn't a CIA, a Mossad agent or a CIA agent or whatever. But everywhere else is saying he is.
Yeah, and so the Ehud Barak, right? He admitted meeting him, visiting his properties, receiving investments from him for tech venture. Ehud Barak has visited him about 30 times, right? So I don't know what else did they talk about except for investment and they heard you visit his properties. They get it.
Bro, are you in the toilet?
I'm outside, out for a walk. Yeah.
You're walking around the village in Somalia?
Nah, bro. I'm walking outside in the park. I think you're talking about the water, Sam. The water was on they were gardening they were watering the garden.
Bro, it sounded like someone flushed a toilet.
It's a lot of noise outside. We're gonna feel ice cream truck as well. Watch, the ice cream trucker will be here as well in a bit.
You know, I heard something, Amir. I heard that Iran is planning an attack inside the continental United States. They're saying that it's not going to be like they're not sending, ballistic missiles over. They're just going to have people walk across the border with dirty bombs. Have you heard?
So I actually heard that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I'm not going, Sam. I haven't heard about that.
Okay, so yeah, I have heard about it. The problem is that there's a lot of conflicting problems with that report, and if that was the case, then Iran would have done a quote-unquote terrorist attack well before. The reason being is Iran had warned Trump and the United States of an Israeli terrorist attack that was going to be carried out after this whole peace treaty or whatever ceasefire that happened between Israel and Iran. So that makes no sense. If they wanted to harm the United States, then why did they warn them about this terrorist attack that got swept under the rug? Second thing is that this follows the same kind of reporting to the T of what was claimed about this terrorist attack that would have happened in 9/11, and then they blamed it on Iraq, but then all of a sudden it wasn't Iraq and there was no evidence of it, right? So this is just like a bunch of churning the pot to make sure that we go to war with Iran when no one wants to go to war with Iran.
Yeah, no, I just thought it was interesting. I had heard it a couple of days ago, then I heard it again yesterday, and I just thought it was interesting, man, because I think as of right now, the U.S. The borders, between I think all the U.S. borders are damn near military installations right now. They got the National Guard patrolling the borders now.
Yeah, no. So what I'm thinking is that there could be several ways that this quote-unquote terrorist attack could happen, but I do believe that a terrorist attack will happen. Whether I believe it's Iran or not is subject to change depending on the evidence that is presented. But like you said, all of the border patrols, anyway, getting into the country, especially through the airports, it's like its own military operation at this point, right? They just won't let anyone by. But then I'm just wondering, will they go ahead and claim from all this entire thing that we need to strengthen our borders and stuff, and we need to go to war with Iran, if somehow they quote unquote let slip a terrorist, which again I highly doubt. But the second thing is that I feel like they will be smuggled, and the way they get smuggled is going to be very indicative to say who did what. Again, it was pretty obvious again when after the war with Iraq, we found out that there was no WMDs, that no terrorists came from Iraq or whatever, and then all of a sudden Osama bin Laden's found in Pakistan, but did we go to war with Pakistan over Osama bin Laden? No, we didn't, right? So there's a whole bunch of bullshit that happened that that made no sense the last time. This quote-unquote terrorist attack that's going to happen this time is also going to involve the same pattern of not making sense, random accusations and claim, and then there's going to be no supporting evidence whatsoever.
I agree, man. That's just something that I see and I thought it was interesting. I hope it doesn't happen, but if it does, I hope our government, has things in place, to try to help prevent it as much as they can.
The thing in place we're going to have is Trump's going to say we need to send more billions to Israel because we got attacked.
Is Modi on the list?
Go ahead,
Narendra Modi. Is he on this list?
Which list?
Epstein list?
Bro, I wouldn't doubt it, especially with the fact that he's a bit rapey. I'm gonna be very honest.
Yo, Sam, what if that list got released and there was a couple of people that come to this room that was on it? How would that make you feel?
Wait, if that list got released in what?
Let's just say 13 people that frequent this space was on that list. How would that make you feel?
If Black Rabbi was on it, I'd be surprised, but then I'd be horrified as well. Because I didn't know his fat folds could actually be used in any kind of sexual way against kids. As for anyone else of the 13, I mean, look, you harm kids, you're off my list. Deuces, I hope you burn in hell kind of thing.
So we can agree that fat cats are on this list.
I don't even know who that is, but if he is, then yeah.
Yeah, black rabbis name was on that list. El Homo, that'd be crazy.
Wait, who's the other guy that you said?
El Homo.
El Normo. I'm pretty sure El Normo has the most of 100 kids, because the way he again talks about other kids and shit like that, especially in the rooms or whatever. I don't see how you get away with that kind of shit.
Yeah, it's despicable.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Wait, who's that other Israeli dude that's banned from Israel and is on a sex offender list? Forgetting who his name is. I think it's Israel with the S.
Huh? Chucky, you're spazzing out.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Ghislaine Maxwell is already rotting in prison, so I'm not worried about that. But no, there's
She's locked up. I wonder if she's gonna commit suicide as well.
No, she won't. She got locked up a long time ago. But even when she was indicted and it was proven that she had connections or whatever, the Clintons still invited her to their daughter's wedding as a guest of honor. So the Clintons and her can go burn in hell.
Yeah, but look, here's the deal, Sam. So this Maxwell, right? Can somebody approach her and get the list from her? Because I'm sure she remembered the name on the list from Epstein. She was like sidekick to Jeffrey Epstein.
So the thing is that certainly they could, but the problem then becomes it becomes a problem in a legal sense, because on one end they will argue this list till the bitter end until it's released, but the second thing is they would say it's circumstantial evidence coming out of her mouth. She doesn't have anything direct to say. If they bring her on as a witness to all of this, they have to have other substantial evidence to claim what she's saying is absolutely true. And again, if I was a lawyer and I was arguing against someone who brought Ghislaine Maxwell, I'd easily go ahead and say that her statements are coerced. One, because of her prison sentence, but two, I'd also claim that, she's just doing this to appease a population, or someone paid her off or something like that. And again, I don't have to prove really anything in court by saying that. I could just be stricken from the record, but the jury could hear that and they would, they might believe my sentiment on it. But yeah, it's just using her is not strong enough. You need the list. And then if you use her later on as a witness, then it's just an open and shut case.
No, I think if she was to come out, she might get assassinated as well. If she was to come out with the list, I think maybe that's why she's on silent mode, and they probably told her to shut the fuck up, don't say anything.
Probably.
And she's locked up, so I don't even think if anybody's allowed to visit her. Wonder about that.
Honestly, I think the Clintons would be behind whoever tries to threaten her and stuff like that, because the Clintons have the most to lose, as she was really close with them.
Yeah, because she would probably remember everybody's name on the list, and if she was to release the names, that could sort of destroy the reputation of these people.
Yeah.
So that's another thing as well.
Yeah.
Yep. The Harvard University says that there was more than 200,000 people dead in Palestine, by the way. So,
didn't they say it's going to be even more than that now?
Yeah, I mean, it says, so there's 400,000, and then Israeli says 100K dead in Gaza. So, Haaretz, are they acknowledging the numbers, by the way, Palestine? Do you know about this? If anybody want to come on up, just unmute and come on up.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the numbers right now.
Because he posted a Haaretz article. Let me see.
You mean Haaretz?
Rich. Let me open up the paywall. Okay, paywall. Save. Okay.
Oh, let me make sure the link is safe before you post it, alright?
They just say this from Haaretz.
Oh no, Haaretz, they say it's anti-Semitic.
I know. They call him pro-Hamas.
Yeah, they say Hamas is their biggest supporter.
So I'm gonna put this. I removed the paywall. You guys can look up on it right here. You can go check it out. I removed the paywall for you guys. On Monday, Health Ministry in Gaza Strip published an update. Okay. 1,227 page charge. Okay, so they're denying the data, by the way. Palestine, if you read the whole article, brother, if you scroll down, Haaretz is reporting the data coming from Gaza Health Ministry, and they deny it by saying it's they're disgusting or whatever. It's wrong. I have opened up removed the paywall so you guys can check it out. I wish they would acknowledge the numbers, man. I'll get it. But
yeah, it's crazy.
It will take them a while to acknowledge any numbers, bro. It's just a piece of shit. And even the idea of kill count. The IDF kill count, right? It's still at 800 or 1,000 numbers. From 7th of October up till now. It's been more than a year and a half. What a bullshit data. Fucking fake made up numbers.
But do you think, Amir, that they're doing this, on purpose? Or do you think it's because maybe, the educational system in Israel isn't that great? Maybe they can't count, higher than 10? Do you think that might be the case?
Anything's possible. Look at Amos. Amos is here. What's up, Amos? Coexistence.
Grandpa Amos.
Chucky.
Yes.
It's not Shuki, it's Chucky. It's Chucky. Shuki?
Chucky, what's the time now? You have a watch.
What's the time right now?
Chucky, you have a watch on your hand. What's the time?
It's 4:40 in the morning.
4:40 in the morning? You're not sleeping?
No, I gotta go to work.
You need to change some diapers.
So how can you come to my room now?
Come to my room.
Did you open?
No, if I'm here, how can I open the room?
Nah, if you open, I'll be guest of honor on your stage if you open one.
I guess on phone. Okay. That's I like. Then you're quiet all the time. I can speak. It's okay.
Alright, so I'll be guest of honor.
You can speak right now if you want to speak, Amos. Amos, do you think IDF is lying about the numbers?
No, I'm looking about the people in the room. Who can I kidnap to my room now?
Amos, I got a question. Do you think the IDF is lying? IDF is lying?
Palestina, it's not the right place. You mistaken the room, Palestina. You make
What
a
is
mistake.
Palestina?
He's not on the stage. He and Igor down there, you see.
Which one?
They're mistaken. Him and Igor.
You see that Anan with the poop emoji? That motherfucker's recording, that bitch.
He will come to record in my room now.
The son of a bitch records all the rooms.
Yeah, there are people.
You know what, Amir? When I retire, right, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go get like 40 phones and make 40 different Clubhouse accounts and just record everybody's room.
I just don't get it.
Then I'm gonna, open up a YouTube channel and do naked yoga while I'm listening to all the different. Yeah.
And that's what I don't get. Like, what do you get out of recording, man? Walaikum assalam, fucking low life. Gee, what do you think? Is Iran gonna do the attack? Because I think their leader got attacked. Did they get attacked by? Did the leader get attacked by Israel or by America?
It was the president and some of the group that they had a meeting. These terror groups of the Bibi and the American, they try to kill all from the top to the bottom. And luckily enough, and sadly for them, it didn't happen. But that gives an Iran altogether unitedly, they're making a good decision now. So I would say they are stronger, more united than ever I have seen in at least in the last 47 years that this government. They've been all together pretty much. So I think there's serious plans has been in the place and serious thought is being on, and now it shows the true face of the American and the BP, that these terror groups, they want to stop killing the people. They're trying to kill and terror from the top to the bottom. So this is called a government after another government killing machine. That's unlawful and is being prohibited from the most at least countries to do that. So that will bring a true serious decision to the government of the Iran, and I'm sure plan has been placed and they're not going to take this lightly. And I think this is why the rest of these Bibi and the Bibi's asset, they're going to from now on sleep and live under the like mice living under the ground from now on, because they know they're also targeted from now on. Also, if the decision I think has been made, and not sure when it's gonna go through, it just depends. But this is something that came out and it shows that they have no mercy. Nobody is safe in Iran. So that will backfire on them. And as their plan, total plan of American and Israeli terrorists, it failed. They planned this for the last 10, 15 years. They had one good shot, and unfortunate for them, unfortunate for Iran, Iran survived, and that shows how capable Iran is on the ganging up on all these terrorist groups on Iran, and Iran came out and they were begging from the behind to stop this and for the ceasefire. That happened according to Iran official, begging to stop this right at the third or fourth days. Well, one of the inside the parliament member that yesterday gave out a little bit behind the scene speech, and he said that on the third day of these 12 days, phone calls, many from the Arab countries, bringing basically a request from U.S. and their ally to stop this and come to the peace. And Iran says, no, U.S. started, we're going to continue this. So finally, it went on all the way to the 12 days after the Qatar American base got lit up. And when I said that, some they were laughing at me. But now it shows that American got lit up, and the proof of that was the most expensive of one of their eye over there that receives early warning, gives for any fly, any missile upcoming, going, and all that information. I'm sure you guys have seen and heard what I'm talking about. That shows clearly that Iran has hit a nice and very priceless target in Qatar. So I think they came to the sense this is no longer is benefit them, and it's continue out. This is very good for them.
So when did the gas station attack happen? Was it yesterday? 2 days ago?
No. During that 12 days.
Oh, during the 12th day. Okay.
Yes,
so
yes.
Now, are they going to attack Israel or America?
They from the every interest and the exit door, the bomb, they send. What kind of, how heavy, that I'm not sure. But basically, they hit the interest and the exit door, anything that they thought that is going to make them suffocate inside. So this is well thought, and this is why Iran takes this very, very serious right now. And the right and left side of the Iran, both side of the group were inside that meeting. That luckily they survived this, and that's why they brought them all united. And for the
I'm asking you, are they gonna attack Israel or America?
Well, American it directly to the America. It will be something when the full war happens, Amir. But in a 12 days like that, that's obviously American were involved with this. American asset is all around the region. They can get hit. Basically, if you hit an American base, there is an American soldier over there. You really think that there was no American soldier on the Al Adid in the Qatar base? Sure enough, there was. Did anybody injured or got killed? Yes, of course there was. But the numbers, they will never reveal that part. It will always they are silent. Just like Al Assad base in Iraq. It's very obvious. Or in the base
But I think they emptied the base, G. I think they emptied the base before you guys.
No, Amir. The military, what they have is not a troop military over there. They have some airplane, yes, but the rest of them is for spying. Those early is like a ball shape, the white color ball shape is super, very high, sophisticated and expensive. I'm sure Edward knows about that one. That gives the early warning. That's over there is always military. They are on top of that. They're not for leaving that. That's for such a days like that to be used by operating by American. It's not like an airplane you can fly him and get him out of there. No, it's not like that. They're operational 24 hours, 7 days a week on their heaviest bombard or any war. That's what designed for. So you should know there was American. And if you ask me, of course there was dead and injured, for sure.
What's up, Edward?
Hello, assalamu alaikum. I think it's the 360 phased array radar, which is what Trump called, or who called it? It was an article. Communications array is what they refer to it as, but it's an early detection radar system that it covers probably a couple of 1,000 miles in radius around the base. That's what was suspected was hit, and definitely were soldiers in the bases. The embassies were emptied out, and the families, the non-essential personnel for the.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, there's an empty base. They knew about it. That's why But G's arguing that no, there's people got injured.
Well, the base itself would never be emptied out of soldiers.
Amir, that's military. That early warning needs operational personnel inside. It's not for living. I didn't say there was a lot of soldiers. I said for those machines, those early system to be operational, it needs employee, it needs soldier, it needs technicians on top of it. It's not like I didn't mention there was hundreds or no. At least 40 to 50 or 100 operators was inside the military to operate these huge systems. It's not one or two personnel's job, Amir. That's what I meant.
Most people were emptied out from the Middle East, but when it comes to the bases, I mean, they're not going to leave the fighter jets and all the technology not secured, so I'm sure there are people there. And they were probably on high alert anyway, so I think the bases themselves. Now, Trump did say that Iran gave a warning, so they were able to evacuate that area of the base. Who knows? I would think Iran gave a warning because Iran gives a warning the U.S. gives warnings to Iran. I don't think they want to break that cooperation or understanding.
What kind of war is this? Cooperation, bro?
No, not cooperation, like understanding. You know, when America was going to hit.
This is Iranian. This is Iranian. The parliament and on high end. He said that this is how he said it. He said the American send a message through the some of the friendly countries around the region. He didn't mention who. That we coming to hit Iran. This is the place we're going to hit. That's what. And you guys welcome to hit this space in ours too. But Iran says no, we're not gonna hit that one that you're choosing. We're gonna hit the one that is in the Qatar. He says no, we can't do it. And Qataris got very angry. Americans got very angry because they knew what they have over there. And Iran said, well, you're coming for that. I'm coming for that one. Tit for tat. They did it, and Iran did it too. It's that simple.
Well,
the early was from the American. Was this a set together? Yes. This is why I said don't believe none of the American Israel what they did.
Amir asked you. Amir asked. I think Amir, you were trying to ask. What's the next? What is Iran saying is going to be next? Is Iran going to?
Nobody's gonna say even if they have plan, it work. Even if they have plan.
Well, the GPS, and Iran was scrambling GPS signals in the area.
Yes. A lot because they're on the alert. Both sides are on alert. Iran is not gonna sit over there just follow for the negotiation, talking. Yeah, trying to.
Are they negotiating?
Calm down. If you listen to the media is saying that yes, Iran wants to negotiate America. That's media. But Iran, in a reality, there's nothing to negotiate. Yes, Iran is going to come to the media and says, yeah, we're ready for negotiation. Why? Iran has always been peaceful. But what's for the negotiation? There's nothing to negotiate. We were at the negotiation, and you guys, 3 days prior to the negotiation, attacking. So it's meaningless. Iran has already given this. My enriched uranium has to get approved as I am part of the NPT. Number two, there is nothing talked about my missile capability because so far they thought the Iranian missiles are a bunch of copies, bunch of paper, this and that. It's a non-functioning this system and not bullshitting that it's not working, it's not going to damage anything. They didn't believe what Iran has. And during that 12 days, their eyes got wide open. What really these devastating damages can bring this missile with the pinpoint accuracy, any target that Iran wants. Therefore, they want to from the enriched uranium, now they're after the Iranian missile capability. You should think about Iran will never negotiate that.
But the big question again, look, you're not answering the question. The big question is, are they going to attack America or Israel? Hey, what's up, Leila? Assalamu alaikum.
Nobody knows that. I mean, I said that nobody.
Nobody knows.
A plan. Okay. No, exactly. If there's a plan, they're not gonna come and announce that. Amir. That's
because yes. Look, it happened during the 12-day war, so-called war. So I don't think they're gonna attack anybody. I don't think it's gonna happen.
No, if you ask
they attack Israel.
Yes.
Because it's gonna go back to war, and that's what the Iran and they want to get involved. And America, same thing. I don't think they're going to attack anybody because if they do, then they're going to get attacked back.
If they suspect that Israelis are trying up to something, Iran might do the preemptive attack, just like they do all the time. Israel all the time does that. What's wrong with Iran?
Look, the best way for Iran to do it is hire spies. Yeah, you could hire spies inside Israel for $25 and $50. It was posted on the paper.
How much too, Amir?
Yeah, you didn't know that, Edward? They was posted in the newspaper. $25 for a fucking spy in Israel, right? For hang on 1 second. So the spy, one of them was 25. The other one was paid, I think, $1,500 or something, or $2,000.
That's really cheap. I mean, what's going on in Israel when somebody has to pick up a side gig that, I guess spying could be a side gig for so low amount of money. I mean, there must be, people aren't living as good as they say they're living over there. To be able, because they were arresting spies like crazy in Israel, like crazy Iranian spies, every week, multiple people.
There's a news in Haaretz. This was a couple of days ago. This Israeli chick, she actually moved to Manila, Philippines. She said, my salary that I make inside Israel is not enough to pay for my rent inside Israel. Apparently, Israel is expensive to live. It's like what to live in America.
Oh, it's very expensive. They've been having a housing crisis since the 2010s. I remember reading, and I'm thinking, why don't they just build new houses? I don't know what the problem is. But I didn't know about Smotrich, as a finance minister. I didn't really read much about him until after October 7th and realized that he really doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to the finances of the country. But these are issues even today, like when it comes to housing. I think maybe they might be doing it on purpose to force people to move into the settlements because they're cheaper and they're subsidized, But Israel's always been expensive. It's never been cheap.
I don't know why it looks like it's outdated.
Okay, hold on. Let me go Google it. Hold on, I'll be.
Well, then thank you, I guess.
I think gay males have a pacifying effect on women. I just kind of noticed that.